In our everyday lives, it's easy to fall into the trap of going through the motions without considering the purpose or significance of each task. We may find ourselves completing tasks without feeling motivated or engaged, going through the motions in hobbies or activities without experiencing enjoyment or fulfillment, participating in social interactions without actively listening or being present, and following routines without focusing on the essence. In this video, we will dive deeper into these examples to explore their implications and how they affect our lives. Imagine waking up every morning, getting ready for work, and going through the motions of your job without feeling motivated or engaged. This is a common experience for many individuals who find themselves in jobs that lack personal fulfillment or fail to provide a sense of purpose. Instead of finding joy and meaning in their work, they merely go through the motions, which can lead to dissatisfaction and a lack of productivity. What if that same man went to work feeling motivated and engaged? Wouldn't he get more return for his work? The key to finding purpose in the work is to understand and learn more about how the work influences you to do more activities you like doing. Understanding more about a topic or challenge makes you more interested in it, causing you to develop new ideas for the topic, and also makes you create many talented things you have established. Now let's talk about hobbies and activities. Have you ever found yourself going through the motions of a hobby you used to love? Maybe you used to be passionate about painting, but now it's become a routine rather than a source of pleasure. It's important to connect with the creative process and truly engage with your hobbies to maintain the joy and inspiration they once provided. We all get burnout from time to time, and sometimes the problem can vary to person, but the main cause is that we've been doing the same thing over and over again and no new changes are being made. Sometimes we will have those hobbies where it used to be really fun actively participating in those activities, and as time goes on, we get used to it. Playing competitive video games like Counter-Strike or Valorant, or even editing videos on Premiere or After Effects are really intensive to learn the fundamentals. Sometimes we learn more things, but at some point we get into a routine of doing these things. And as we get into the routine on our favorite activities, we get burnt out and make us go through the motions, making the activities we are doing less enjoyable. So what we could do is to take a break and come back in a little while, and we could naturally start enjoying it once more. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to have superficial interactions without truly connecting with others. We may engage in conversations without actively listening or being present in the moment. This can prevent the development of deep and meaningful relationships, as genuine connection requires active engagement and attentiveness. Our minds are like engines. Feed it bad things and it produces guilt and shame, but if you feed it good things, it spits out creativity and ideas. The content you watch is the content you consume. Social media has made this ever so apparent with the rise of parasocial relationships on the incline. We could value a person higher that we haven't even met in our own day-to-day lives. I would also like to include that's really important that we listen to each other, because when we don't listen, we act as if we are being misunderstood. I know there are many content creators flexing the watches and really nice houses and showing all these possessions, but these objects are designed to get views, not genuine connections. So I think it's really a double-wielded sword where we can know so much about a person, but yet we can also not know a whole lot about a person's true intent. I think it's becoming more clear that as people we aren't listening to each other, because in our lives it's almost as if something is always more important, but if we were to take a step backward, the thing that is really important is to just listen to that one person. Exercise is essential for our physical and mental well-being. However, going through the motions of a workout without focusing on form or intensity can hinder progress and diminish the benefits that exercise provides. By fully engaging in the workout, paying attention to proper technique, and exerting the necessary effort, we can challenge ourselves and achieve optimal results. Sometimes we are exercising, we get lost into why we are exercising, and sometimes we just not do it because it's good for us, but rather the fact that we need something to do. I even do this sometimes where I just need to exercise, not because it's healthy or anything, but rather I need something to do and go through the motions of the exercise. So what I learned is that challenging myself to reach higher goals is necessary to becoming a better athlete. Doing chores is another famous example of going through the motions. Mindlessly adhering to guidelines without actively engaging because we have to get it done because it's annoyance to do and we see it as a problem. As people, we all hate doing chores because it requires tremendous effort, time, and motivation to do the chore at hand. And we all get lazy and put off the chore until later due to other things that have higher priority on the task at hand. but if we do chores with intent, it wouldn't be that bad. Completing assignments or projects without investing effort or creativity is a disservice to ourselves. Instead of merely getting things done, we should strive for excellence and actively engage with our work. By doing so, we open doors to growth, innovation, and personal satisfaction. This is something I do all the time, and it's because I don't know where to begin most of the times. There are times when I don't understand how much effort to exert when I'm doing a task that seems valuable to me, so I just invest a little effort. But however, putting in the least amount of effort is really devastating because it limits our growth and capabilities we could do later in the future. I used to do this a lot in school because I always saw assignments as a task, and my logic was, it doesn't matter how well I learn it if I'm just going to get a good letter grade anyways. And once I transferred this skill to editing and everything else, I just started losing enthusiasm in the things that I was doing because I wasn't really putting that much effort because I didn't really know exactly what I was doing at the time. But however, I did the inverse and decided to put more effort, and I started to see the results I wanted to see. Learning the process on how to do things is a killer of dissatisfaction. When you understand how things work, we flow into a need to know more, and it would over time give results. If you ever had a project or mission you want to do, invest more effort and creativity because this would yield more than you think it would. Attending meetings or conferences without actively participating or contributing can limit our professional development. Instead of being passive observers, we should actively engage in discussions, provide meaningful input, and seize opportunities for collaboration and learning. Sometimes when we are learning things, we kind of just sit there and not know what's going on half the time. But when I was in school, and everyone would just sit there and not really do anything, but I learned that participation, even if it's good or bad, question is a really good insightful question to the whole class, because half the time, for at least for me, the whole class wasn't even paying attention anyways. I learned this the hard way. It's okay to ask the questions. In personal relationships, going through the motions without emotional connection or genuine affection can lead to a sense of emptiness and dissatisfaction. It's crucial to invest in emotional intimacy and connection, actively nurturing our relationships to create fulfilling and meaningful connections. Sometimes we get a sense of emptiness because it's as if we are trying hard, but no real sense of progress is being attained. Imagine yourself reading or watching your favorite movie or TV show and realizing you weren't even actively participating and watching, rather than just sitting there and just scrolling there. Have you ever had yourself watch a show and then just pull out your phone and start scrolling? It's almost like we accustomed to the autopilot behavior. Let's just play this through. I think going through the motions is often heavily associated with thinking we are invisible. Life goes on and we still haven't really seen anything. I'd argue this is wrong entirely because we get tunnel vision into a certain thing. However, we must understand everything that is going on around us, causing us to embellish the process for what it truly is. Going through the motions in various aspects of life can lead to a lack of fulfillment, disengagement, and missed opportunities for growth and connection. Whether it's in work, hobbies, social interaction, exercise, diet, assignments, meetings, relationships, or self-care, actively engaging with intention and mindfulness is crucial. Let's break free from the cycle of going through the motions and rediscover the joy, purpose, and fulfillment in each task and experience. Embrace each moment as an opportunity for growth and genuine connection.